The majority of people don't like hearing the truth of most things in life, and that also applies to the game of Volleyball Legends. The things you are about to hear may seem harsh at first, but trust me, if you look at each and every one of them in the right light, they will undoubtedly make you a way better player than what you currently are right now. So without further ado, let's talk about the harsh truths of Volleyball Legends. Besides Haka, who is the most recent style added that also introduced a new rarity to volleyball, being ultra rarity, everyone knows that having a secret style is the best thing your account can hold in this game. And if you don't have one, then I'm extremely sorry for you, because you are missing out on the aspects of volleyball that are not seen in real life. I like to think of secret styles like the prodigies of the world, because only they can do what everyone else deems impossible. Take for example football player Lionel Messi, who is considered the best in history when it comes to his sport. There is no one who possesses his football knowledge, which makes him a very unique player, kind of like secret styles. So if we're comparing him with these monsters, someone like your sibling who just happens to play the same sport for fun is like having a common style in Volleyball Legends. Now that you see the difference, it should come as no surprise that having a secret style is basically mandatory in the stage of the game we are currently in, because they hold abilities that can give you the edge in a match, which not even godly styles are capable of doing, who are basically the best cards in the average pile. But as we all know, there are definitely levels to this, so make sure you show up on Saturdays in order to collect as many lucky spins as you can. Otherwise, players who possess secrets will literally eat you alive, bro. When it comes to ranked volleyball, not everyone has a fun time reaching pro rank. Actually, now that we're talking about it, does anyone actually enjoy getting tossed around 50 times a day by a guy who refuses to get a job? Yeah, I didn't think so. And one thing that makes it a whole lot worse is the teammates this freaking game decides to pair you with after losing for the 10th time in a row. Protory, you see me getting absolutely manhandled by the other team, and yet you still decide to give me a guy with the gameplay of a toddler as my teammate? I have a lot of things to say to you, but let's not get into all of that. The teammate you get in ranked is extremely detrimental to not only your rank, but your mental health as well, since some of these dudes really make you question how it is possible to be so insanely talented at being absolute horseshit at this game. And the sad part is that you really can't do much about it, because not only are you not able to see how your teammates play prior to the start of a match, you will also lose rank if you decide to leave due to you guys not having any chemistry. So the only option you have is to judge a book by its cover, which brings me to my next truth, being breaking someone down based on the fit they are wearing. I want you guys to answer this question truthfully. When you see a guy with a fit like this one, do you think in your head that he has ever touched pro rank in his entirety of playing this game? For the people that said yes, I want you to step foot outside of your house right now and immediately head to the nearest hospital, because there is something very wrong with you, gang. When boys and girls find someone cute, the very first thing they notice is their looks, immediately resorting to judging one another, whether it is subconsciously or not. So why would you think that it would be any different in Roblox? I would much rather have player A in my team as opposed to having player B, solely based on the type of fit they threw on. And I feel like one of the main reasons is because you can low-key determine someone's age and maturity level based on what you see them wear. People who have visually appealing avatars that fit together well, on average, end up being better players when compared to the guys who shop for their items with a blindfold on their face. So for that reason, my choice remains firm. Volleyball Legends has a shop section where you are able to purchase all sorts of things ranging from lucky style spins to yen, which I've always wondered why that's even an option. Lucky spins increase your chances of getting secret styles and abilities dramatically compared to regular ones. That is why one of the harsh truths in this game has to be how pay to win it is. I'm not saying you can't get lucky spins for free, or that you can't just simply improve in the game to make you a better player, but what I am saying is that your chances of getting better accessories increases if you have some money to splurge with. You can't expect to get a secret style or ability every Saturday with the free rewards given to you, because if my calculations are correct, there are only 10 lucky spins, 5 ability spins, and the 12 lucky style and ability spins you get for being in the game at a specific time. And 100 rolls are required to get a guaranteed secret, which is much more than what you get every weekend. So unless you're breaded up, waiting for a secret to show up in your locker is the only option you have, because it low-key takes time for the spins to stack up in your account. It never occurred to me until now that a lot of players actually play Volleyball Legends on their mobile device, since I myself use a computer. So as soon as I found that to be an option, I decided to load the game on my phone and try to play a regular match. The difference between keyboard and touchscreen is actually ridiculous. The movement is difficult to adjust to because since I'm so used to using the mouse, playing with my fingers on the screen just doesn't feel right. And don't even get me started on how fast the Roblox app drains your battery, because my phone can be at 100% and 20 minutes later I'm already getting a warning on my screen informing me to charge my device. Shift lock is another tricky thing here because I'm not really even sure if that's even an option. The FPS also is much less compared to PC, requiring you to have a faster reaction time. And probably the most detrimental part of using a mobile device is the microscopic like size of the screen you're playing on. People on iPad low-key have it decent because at least you are able to tell what is kind of going on in a match, but using a phone on the other hand is a living hell due to the size of the screen being extremely small, which not only causes you to miss details but also makes it extremely difficult to hold down on the perfect angle in order to create the play that you want. So for all of my mobile players out there, you guys truly have all of my respect. I can't stress enough how important learning shift lock is when it comes to Volleyball Legends. It low-Kirkwinly might be the single most important mechanic to master, just because the jumping skill you gain when you add this to your bag is a lot more significant than any other thing in the game. Although it can be a bit underwhelming seeing a shift lock user in play, the thing you have to understand is that the opposition only sees the direction that you are facing, meaning that when you shift lock off, the other players aren't able to see what direction you are pre-aiming for until the time comes when you shift lock on and spike the ball, which is what makes this mechanic amazing, since it's so much more effective to only give the opponents a split second of time to know what direction we're looking at. But even with how good it can be, there's a major reason why most of the player base doesn't learn it, and it all has to do with consistency. Learning shift lock does not happen overnight, not even for the talent-filled anomalies who are able to learn anything in the blink of an eye. I won't lie to you guys, getting the timing right at first is definitely challenging, especially if keyboard and mouse isn't something you're comfortable with. That is why patience and time is required in order to master it. Give yourself 20 minutes a day for 2 weeks of practice every day, and you'll be surprised at the comfortability your mind and fingers will feel by the end of your shift lock training arc. And if you think you can just cram everything into one day, you'll be extremely wrong, because although you will definitely make the most improvement for that singular day, muscle memory will not continue to develop if you don't do it for a consistent amount of time. That is exactly why it's better to increase the amount of sessions you have with a lower time frame for each. Unarguably, the hardest pill in the game of Volleyball Legends everyone has to swallow is none other than the IQ pill. As harsh as this is to accept, once you finally get every mechanic in the game mastered, the main thing that will determine what rank you end up as is intelligence. And that goes for pretty much every competitive video game ever created. It's almost as if someone's playing capabilities are predetermined since birth, which is both interesting yet cruel. Usually I like adding solutions to the problem at hand, but this is one of the few roads that truly has no way out. Even so, if you aren't a very intelligent player, you should still strive to be the best in everything that you do, which doesn't just go for this game, but life as a whole. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard is a very popular phrase that a lot of people live by, and rightfully so. You can be the most talented person this world has ever seen, but if you decide to waste it by focusing on everything around you instead of yourself, then eventually the people that quote unquote don't have what it takes to succeed will leave you in the dust, making their dreams become a reality. So always, and I mean always, run towards everything you want to achieve, because you have to realize that you only have one life as you. Most of the time, reality stings. That is why we avoid the truth and decide to live in a fake world. But regardless, the pain you go through is always worth it when breaking out of a life you hate. Start facing the truth head on, because once you see how things really are, it removes that sense of comfort that you once had prior to making that jump. And after that, it becomes exponentially easier to grow and grow due to the hardest step being out the way. You are truly the only person who can decide your future, and the best time to ever start anything in life is and will forever be right now. So don't give it a second thought and just go for everything that you want in this world, because the thing that separates a mediocre person from someone who is perceived as exceptional is the amount of time they take between idea and action. I'll let you guys do whatever you want with that information, and I'm sorry that this video got a tiny bit deep, but it is the harsh truths of Volleyball Legends after all. So as always, I will see you guys next time, and peace.